Good afternoon, students. In the last class, we have seen the biotransformation process. There, we have studied various types of biotransformation reactions, microbial plant cells, animal cells transformation, comparison of microbial transformation with the others, plant and animal cells. We have seen why these chemical synthesis is less important than microbial transformation, why it is superior than chemical synthesis, the various types of reactions mediated by the enzymes present in these microbial cells, like uh, these oxidation, reductions, hydrolysis, condensation, isomerization, formation of new CC double bonds. All these type of microbial reactions we have seen in the last class. This is oxidation, dehydrogenation, reduction, hydrolytic reaction, animation, deamination, condensation. All these type of reaction we have seen in the last class. In this class, we will see the practical aspect of microbial conversion. When we are taking any microbes to do some transformation process, there is some requirements which should be fulfilled by the microorganisms. So what are the two other requirements? So two requirements should be fulfilled by the microorganisms are to obtain a particular product, the microorganisms should have the enzymes which brings about the desired transformation. In the last class, we have seen that there should be some enzymes present which are to be able to convert one substrate into the product. Okay, so whenever this product is converted, we would select that microorganisms to be our further processes. Okay, so it should able to use the starting material as a substrate. So whenever we use substrate, or we will take substrate, that microorganism should be able to use that substrate, and it should finally convert it to the product. Okay, so two requirements should be fulfilled by the microorganisms, that it should contain some types of enzymes to convert substrate into the product, and it should also be able to use substrate as a starting material. Okay, so next is the selection of organism, how we will select that particular microorganisms. Okay, so there are two types of methods, that is random screening and second is parallel system. In the random screening, we will just in the fermentation vessel, we will add substrate, some requirements like some enrichments medium, and then we will allow that microorganisms to convert that substrate into a some product. If the product is the desired one which we want, then we use that microorganism for our further transformation process. Okay, so if a particular organisms bring about the transformation, the organism is selected for the further investigation. So this type of screening is random screening. In a parallel screening or parallel system, we will use some literature. From that, we will find some similar type of conversation. The microorganisms which are able to convert to that similar type of conversation and testing the organisms or closely one in the system under study, we will use that microorganisms for our fermentation process. Okay, so here the conversation process will be the parallel when we use some literature to find out our particular organism. Okay, so these are the two methods in which we can select the particular type of organisms. There are some enrichment procedure also, in which we will see the effect of microorganisms by adding some enrichment substrate to that medium. Okay, so large amount of substrates is added to the soil samples together with the water and additional nutrients. An organism which are capable of utilizing substrate grow in that medium, and these organisms are isolated and used for the transformation. So there are some enrichment method also. Mixed cultures are also there, in which we will mix two or more microorganisms for the conversion of particular substrate. Like for example, tropine is converted into the pseudotropine by the help of Bacillus albi and Enterococcus cerevisiae. So here we have used two microorganisms to convert tropine to pseudotropine. Okay. So after selecting the microorganism, we have to sterile it also. Okay, the medium, completely medium is in which we are going to convert to substrate into the product. That medium should be sterile. Okay, there are two main points that we have to first select the microorganism, and then the medium should be able to convert that substrate into the product. They should have the particular requirements or nutrients, so that the microorganism use that nutrients to convert that substrate into the product. After selecting the medium also, we have to sterile that only. Okay, so sterility is the necessary because contamination can suppress the desired reaction. Okay, so we have to prevent the contamination of microorganism by other microorganism also. So the sterilization can be done by following methods like boiling, passing steam, autoclaving, you know. So these are the methods by which we can sterile our media, and further we can use that media for our biotransformation process. Okay. After sterilization, we should have some other points also, that there should be proper aeration and stirring inside that fermentation vessel. We have discussed in the last class that all these process can be done in the fermenters, and for the efficient microbial transformation, oxygen should be placed in intimate contact with the cellular structure. So some microbes require oxygen, so oxygen ports should be there. Sterile air should be passed by through some sterile filter under the pressure. Aeration is always a problem with filamentous organism growth. So there should be proper impellers to facilitate aerations. Some airlift fermenters are also there. Surface attached microorganisms in fixed fluidized bed reactors are nowadays used. So these types of variations in the fermentation we can do for the proper aeration and stirring methods. Diffusion is somewhat also a problem inside the fermentations. There should be a proper diffusion of microorganisms in the medium. So transformation takes place within the cells. Hence, to reach the cell solubility of the substrate in the medium, its rate of diffusion are the rate limiting steps. And so we can use some emulsifiers such as Twain or water miscible solvents with low toxicity to increase the solubility of poorly soluble compounds. So like this, diffusion can be increased by adding some emulsifiers. So there should be a proper diffusion of microorganisms inside the medium. Some after the reactions takes place, there can be a formation of side reactions, or side chains can be formed, or some unwanted products can be formed. So these can be prevented by eliminating the heat or pH, or by changing the pH of the medium. These can be solved by these type of controlling heat and pH of the medium. After the product is formed, there should be a product isolation. So product, where it is formed, the product can be formed inside the cell, or it can be excreted or suspended in the medium. Okay, so the end product of the transformation reactions are usually extracellular and may occur in the either dissolved form or in the suspended form. In both form, it can be present inside the medium. Okay, so there are some steps that we should further purify these bacteria or yeast or fungi by filtration methods. Okay, So we should separate the cells, and these cells are washed repeatedly with water or organic solvents, and depending upon the solubility of product recovered is performed by the precipitation as calcium salt, by adsorption or ion exchanger, by extraction with appropriate solvent, or for the volatile substance by direct distillation from the medium. So there are a number of methods by which we can separate the product from the medium. Okay, they can be precipitated, they can be adsorbed, they can be extracted by appropriate solvents, or for a volatile substance they can be distilled. So these are the various methods by which we can separate or isolate the product. Okay, there are some theoretical aspects of microbial transformation also, that conversion of uncommon substrate. There can be a substrate can be some common substrates can also be converted with the help of these type of microorganisms. Interference with the metabolic pathway, there can be interference. They can biotransformation process can be interfered, biosynthesis can be interfered. Rate of conversion depends upon the structure of substrate, the specificity of enzyme reactions. These are the some points where the microbial transformation can change, or microbial transformation, some changes can take place. So we will not go much deeper inside this. We will directly see the microbial transformation of steroids. So in the course, there is microbial transformation of steroids. You know that steroids are important therapeutic agents. They can be used in rheumatoid arthritis, allergies, other inflammatory diseases, for contraception, for hormonal insufficiencies. They are used in various types of diseases. And demand for such a requirement can be met out by chemical synthesis, but this process is very costly. The starting material to synthesize steroids required deoxycholate. Deoxycholate is a very expensive substance. So we can go to some cheaper type of steroids such as corticosteroids, cortisone, prednisone, hydrocortisone, dexamethasone, stigmastrol, cetoestrols. So like that, we can go for some cheaper type of steroids, and sigmasterol and cetoestrols are can be used because they are the byproducts of soybean oil. Okay, so these steroids can be used for convert to various types of steroids, and these reactions can be mediated by the microorganisms. So there are some types of steroidal transformation which we will see one by one. That is oxidation, in which we will see dehydroxylation, hydroxylation, dehydrogenation, epoxidation, oxidation to ketone through hydroxylation, ring A aromatization, degradation of steroid nucleus, reduction reactions, in which we will see the double bond formation, aldehyde to ketone to alcohol, hydrolysis, isomerization, dissolution of racemic mixture, other reactions, are animations, enolization, esterifications. So these are the various types of reactions which will be mediated by the microorganisms to convert one form of steroids to the other steroids form. So in the steroids, there are three main primary carbon atoms, that is C18, C19 and C21. And 18th secondary carbon atom. In the position 18th, there is a secondary carbon atom. And in each secondary carbon atom within the nucleus, there are two sites, alpha and beta, attached to the OH group, and they can be hydroxylated in either alpha and beta configuration. Okay, so there are three main carbon atoms, primary carbon atom, that is C18, C19 and C21. So in the further slides, we will see the conversation of one steroids to the other steroids. So first we will see the hydroxylation reaction. In the hydroxylation reaction, we will see the substitution of hydroxyl group directly for the hydrogen at the position. It will be at alpha or beta in the steroids with the retention of configuration. With the example, we can see the cortisone is converted into hydrocortisone with the help of Cunningham-Ella, black cinane, and Culvelaria lunata. So here you can see the cortexolone. Cortexolone is this structure. In the steroids, there are 4 rings A, B, C, and D. If we name it, then it can be named like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And in this 11th positions, there is a hydroxy group. Okay, so hydroxy group is placed here with the help of Culvelaria lunata. Okay, so Culvelaria lunata is the microorganism which can convert cortexolone to hydrocortisone. Okay, so like this we can convert the one steroid to other steroids by hydroxylation reaction with the help of Culvelaria lunata. Okay, some fungi are the most active hydroxylating microorganisms, but some bacteria, particularly the Bacilli, Nocardia, and Streptomyces, show fair to good activity. Okay, so there is the reactions also by in progesterone also, where 11th position is the reaction in which hydroxylation takes place. Okay, this is the 11th position where the hydroxylation reaction takes place. Dehydrogenation reaction. Dehydrogenation reaction involves the introduction of double bonds with in the 4 type of rings inside the steroid nucleus. And although the introduction of unsaturated bond in ring A is the only reaction of commercial importance. So with the example, we can see the cortisol. Cortisol is converted into the prednisolone with the help of Corynebacterium simplex. Here you can see that in first position, we will see the introduction of double bond. Double bond is there with the help of Corynebacterium simplex. So this is the type of dehydrogenation process, and it is first in 1955, Charney and co-worker observed that they could greatly enhance the anti-inflammatory properties of cortisol by causing the compound to be dehydrogenated at first position by the Corynebacterium simplex. So from the cortisol, prednisolone is formed, and this prednisolone is 3 times more active than cortisol by introducing simple a double bond here with the help of Corynebacterium simplex. So this is the dehydrogenation reaction. Now the epoxidation reaction. Epoxidation takes place with the help of Culvelaria lunata. This is the 9th or 11th position. This 9th and 11th position, a epoxy ring is formed with the help of Culvelaria lunata. So the epoxidation of steroidal double bond is a rare example of biological epoxidation, and 9-11th epoxidation of 9-11 dihydro compound, and the 14-15 epoxidation of 14-15 dihydro compounds using Culvelaria lunata. So these type of reactions takes place with the help of Culvelaria lunata. Ring aromatization also takes place with the help of microorganisms. That microorganism is Pseudomonas testosterone. This is Pseudomonas testosterone, which convert 19-nor testosterone to estrone with small quantities of estradiol 17B beta. So these aromatic compounds, ring A aromatic compounds, are formed like ring A aromatic. You have seen that this is not aromatic, and now it becomes aromatic ring. So this type of aromatic ring has importance in some replacement therapy like menopause treatment. Their ring A compounds are there given. So this ring aromatization takes place with the help of Pseudomonas testosterone. Some degradation of steroid nucleus we can also see with the help of some microorganisms, that is nocardia species, that can cleave the side chains of the steroid nucleus. Here you can see C27 compounds are cleaved to form C24. Here COH group is there, and now it is again cleaved to form C22, and lastly C17 carbon atoms steroid nucleus is formed with the help of nocardia species. So like that, with the help of microorganisms, we can degrade the side chain of steroids also. Okay. Reductions, some reduction type of reactions we can see with the help of Streptomyces species. Here the estrone is converted into estradiol. So there is a reduction of aldehyde and ketones to alcohol. This is the keto derivative which is converted to hydroxy group, that is alcohol. So estrone is converted to estradiol with the help of Streptomyces. Some hydrolysis type of reactions in which ketone, yes, some acetic group is steroidal acetates are converted to a hydroxyl group. Like here you can see this steroidal acetate are converted into hydroxy form with the help of Flavobacterium dihydrogenase. Some esterification reactions like androstenedione is converted into testosterone acetate with the help of Saccharomyces fragilis. So here you can see keto is converted into some acylated form with the help of Saccharomyces fragilis. With the help of this, androstenedione is converted into testosterone acetate. Like that, steroid ring degradation can also takes place. Here you can see cholesterol. Cholesterol is degraded into androstenedione, androstenedione to androstenedione, then 9-alpha hydroxy androestradiol, and then androestradiol. So like that, cholesterol is degraded into some other products with the help of mycobacteria. Here is the species are mycobacteria. So like that, we can create different types of steroids with the help of microorganisms. So all these type of reaction you have to write whenever a steroid biotransformation of with the help of microorganisms comes in the exam. You have to write one by one all the hydroxylation, dehydrogenation, epoxidation, ring aromatization, dehydration of steroid nucleus, double bond formation, some esterification type of reactions. So these type of reactions you should write whenever a question comes with the biotransformation with the help of steroids. So you should write all these types of reactions. Hope you understand. Thank you.